Here's another late development, and this news keeps coming in as we're talking here.
All right, guys. Hey, how you doing? My name's Heero. I'm part of the Identity booth. I'm only one half of the Identity booth. And then like a percentage of a fraction is part of Eric, and then a percentage of a fraction is you guys, the audience. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We're going to talk about Prince Hakeem, or King Hakeem. Wait, no, it's Prince, because no spoiler. This is a non-spoiler. I almost fucked up the movie. This is a non-spoiler of Coming to America. So if you're worried about me spoiling something, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to just give you a synopsis and just my personal belief on what the movie was, for what it's worth. But before we get into that, I have to turn off my ad block. Run ad block on your computer, man. Don't let them tell you otherwise, all right? Let's go this website, this page. All right, cool. Where are we? All right, cool. We're here. All right. So right now it's sitting at Coming to America 2. I like how they put the Coming to America, because Coming to America 2, it just seems heavy, but I like it. It's sitting at a 51 for like the professional reviews, and then it's sitting at a 45. I am going to start off by saying this. Eddie Murphy seems to be elusive towards time. Coming to America 1 came out the year I was born, 1988. So this movie was playing constantly in my house. Constantly. I see your code. I see your text. I see that. And it played constantly in my house as a young child. My dad had the gold box edition, the Coming to America from Africa edition. This movie gave people like me so much joy, because when I was in high school, I was constantly being reminded, fresh off the boat, fresh off of this. But the part that I resonate with the most in this movie is how I envisioned Nigeria. Like when I was a young kid, that's what I saw. That's how I felt. So I was like, wow, this is a great representation of what I felt and saw. So I was just excited to see they captured that so well. And then the transition to Coming to America, and how they would be just this, ultimately it's a story about two guys, fish out of water. You know the story. He wants to be in love. He doesn't want this royalty to kind of gauge and rule his livelihood. He wants to feel what it's like to be a normal person. That's the gist of the first movie. If you've seen the first movie and you don't have Amazon Prime, or you don't got a friend that has Amazon Prime, if you've seen the first movie, you've seen the second movie, but with 30 extra minutes of like random bullshit. The movie is the same, and it's the same for so many other bad reasons. I still got the rat tail, you feel me? I got a bunch of them now. The movie is bad because the movie wants to be an updated version for old people. There are people in this movie you are going to see and hear, and you're going to say to yourself, Why are you in this movie? What purpose did you serve? There are people in this movie, if you cut them out and someone mentions them in passing, you would have been more excited to hear them being mentioned in passing than actually seeing them. Because when you saw them, you're like, oh no, why are you here? Who invited you? But if you heard their name, you'd be like, oh snaps, he's somewhere in the building. You would have been excited to try and find them. This movie suffers from an identity crisis. It doesn't know if it wants to tell a new story or an old story. Hands down, the best character in the movie is Wesley Snipes. Shout out to the traditional Obaku hairstyle with the fan. It's amazing. That haircut is so fucking legendary. Wesley Snipes was the fucking beast in this movie. So it's baffling to me. It's baffling. And he came into the story with such a great premise. I thought that was going to be the story right there. I was like, okay, this is great. But Hollywood fucked this movie up, man. This movie is literally what would happen if they said, take every famous black person under who is less expensive than Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and put them in the movie. I don't want nobody more expensive than them. Because Eddie Murphy doesn't seem like he was there. There's actually scenes where he's talking to people who are not there because they edited them in. And this movie had a little bit of trouble as far as, coronavirus and things like that. But this is like, and I don't want to give it an example because this movie wouldn't have been good either way because the premise was so solid. There is a missed opportunity here where Prince Akeem has a daughter who's a beast and would have made a great queen. And the story should have been about that and how the queen of Zamunda has taken on this role and the pushback and the adversity she has to go through. And part of her journey is, her father says, go to America and find your way. And then come back and see how I did it. That would have been far more fascinating. But they copped out. And I don't know if it's because they were scared or because they didn't want to seem like they were pandering. Because this movie came out a week before International Women's Day. And this is a movie that was based in a fictional place in the international world. You fucking missed the point. This movie disappointed me just for that reason. So, in all, my rating system is very different. If you've ever watched, The Strangers comic book, that's my other channel where I review comic books and anime and comics and video games. But I have a rating system on there and I'll introduce it here. The rating system is 3 levels. This is all 3 levels are the same until they branch at a point, and I'll tell you where that point is. The assumption is I wake up in a movie theater in the middle of a movie. I don't have anything else better to do. I have all my money and wallets. I'm perfectly fine. I'm healthy. I don't need to be anywhere. No one's looking for me. But I just wake up in a movie theater and this movie is playing. Based on these 3 things is how I rate movies. Option A, if I woke up in the movie theater and everything was fine, everything was good, would I continue watching the movie even though I've already seen it or read this review? If the answer is yes, then obviously that means that was a good movie, right? Option B, I've seen it, but I read my review. I'm good. I leave and find something better to do. Option C, I literally wake up and I don't even want to read my own goddamn review or remember what this movie is about. And I leave and then ask for my money back. and for what it's worth, I'll give it the middle one. If I woke up and I saw this review or I read my review and I woke up in the middle of the movie, I could find something better to do. Don't mess with classics, man. this is the reason, movies like this is the reason why Superman is still popular. Superman shouldn't still be popular. And that's why people are having a difficult time making stories for Superman. Because of movies like this, because of this idea that new shit is scary. It's not. Let's take a chance on some new shit. Let's reinvent the wheel. Or even if you're not going to take that chance, let's just do something better. You feel me? Let's get to some of your comments, though. So he was needed, appreciated his character. Okay, yeah, I definitely appreciated the characters. I miss this universe, but I didn't want to come back to this universe. Like I expected the universe to progress differently. It's like when you leave this, you know what happened here? It's like you had an old friend and you remember what they look like, you remember how they used to be, you remember how they used to act, and then you go back and visit them after like 6 years, and you find out that they snort coke. They're okay, but whoa, my guy, you're snorting coke now? Like, you good? Like, can we talk about this? What's going on? It's something like that. But I miss like the family. See James Earl Jones, man, that shit was lovely. But to answer your question, Twisted Texas, would this still be? And okay, for the slapstick part, the slapstick part comes from two things: good writing and good actor chemistry. Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy can sit in a room all goddamn day with no lines and be hilarious. And they could literally say 4 things all day, and that shit, you would just be laughing because of their interactions. That can't be helped. That's something you gotta have. But a good writer can make someone like Childish Gambino funny and also one of the world's best rappers. Good writing. It solves a lot of problems. Yo, hey, I be stressed, man. But that was my makeshift review on this movie. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. But if you want to donate to a better cause, if you got $15 from Jeff Bezos, use it on this instead. Donate to this cause, because there are some great things happening with the Endurance 24 Challenge. There's going to be a race to run 24 miles in 24 hours, May 7th through May 8th. And you can run too. And you can be part of the experience while we're tracking these guys run around all throughout this city and try and raise money for a great cause. They're raising money for kids. We are an official sponsor now. So check this link out. It's in the description. It's in the chat. And, you know, help these kids out with a great cause, man. Help these kids out with a great cause. Let's go to chat.
And I'm sleep deprived, shorty on the line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the side, slow it down and we can catch the vibe. But it's so hard to find through the daily grind. We're working overtime. And I'm sleep deprived, shorty on the line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the sight, slow it down and we can catch the vibes.